Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About Health. Here on Turning Point Web TV, I'm your host, Latasha Franklin. Living a happy life goes hand in hand with living a healthy life. In this program, we are going to be looking at a special anti-cancer diet, as well as 7 nutrients your diet may be missing. We are happy to welcome to the program my dear friend and health addict, Lee Kennedy, the Director of Health Awareness for Turning Point Mission Center in Jackson, Mississippi. Hello, Lee, and welcome to Let's Talk About Health.
Hello, and it's a pleasure to be here.
We would really like to hear from you, our viewers. If you have program suggestions or comments, please share them with us. Send me an email to healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. That's healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. Or give us a call at 1-866-395-6873. That's 1-866-395-6873. When we return, we will begin our discussion. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk About Health. I'm your host, Latasha Franklin, and our guest today is Lee Kennedy. Let's get right to our topic, the anti-cancer diet. Keeping track of the foods that prevent or cause cancer can get pretty confusing. So to lower your risk, what should you really be doing? Filling up on fiber, shunning nitrates, stocking your fridge with only organic vegetables? Just exactly what should we do? Do preservatives, nitrates, food additives, and other food chemicals cause cancer?
You know, we hear a lot of news stories linking various additives and chemicals and food colorings with cancer risk. It's certainly possible, but at this point the evidence hasn't shown any real connection. In fact, some preservatives seem to be antioxidants, which could mean they're actually protecting us.
I see. I think people can get a little too preoccupied with these theoretical connections when they would be better off focusing on better established ways of reducing their risk of cancer, weight loss, exercise, and a healthier diet. Why do fruits, vegetables, and plant foods seem to protect against cancer?
Plant foods probably offer protection in a number of ways. They provide thousands of phytochemicals, which are natural plant compounds. Many are antioxidants, which seem to protect and repair our DNA. Some antioxidants appear to affect cancer cells, controlling how they grow or spread. The vitamins and minerals in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and beans also help produce and repair DNA and control cell growth.
Some foods can have a more direct effect on specific types of cancer. For instance, plant food contains fiber, which seems to lower the risk of colon cancer.
There is also an indirect benefit to eating whole foods that are low in fat. They tend to be less calorically dense, so we can fill up on them without getting so many calories.
Are organic foods the best defense against cancer?
Eating organic food is fine as an option, but it's not necessarily preferable in terms of lowering cancer risk. You can find studies showing that organic foods are high in nutrients and protective phytochemicals, but you can find just as many showing they're not. Although people worry about pesticide residue, not all conventionally grown non-organic crops contain them. Of those that do, less than 1% have them in the amounts above the current strict tolerance levels.
If you prefer organic, that's fine. But organic fruits and vegetables do cost more. So if you're eating fewer fruits and vegetables just so you can afford buying them organic, that's not a good idea. People shouldn't feel like they're putting themselves at risk if they're eating conventionally grown foods. Why is keeping a normal body weight so important to cancer prevention?
We know that being overweight or obese is strongly linked to an increased risk of several common cancers, like cancer of the colon, breast, kidneys, esophagus, endometrium, and pancreas, to name a few. We think there could be several reasons why. Excess body fat, especially around the waist, it is linked with insulin resistance and high insulin levels. Although people associate insulin with blood sugar and diabetes, researchers think that high levels of insulin may promote the growth of cancer cells. Excess fat also seems to trigger inflammation throughout the body, which seems to encourage cancer growth. Excess body fat can pose a specific cancer risk to older women. After menopause, excess weight is associated with higher levels of estrogen that can promote the development and growth of estrogen-sensitive cancers of the breast and endometrium.
How does physical activity affect a person's cancer risk?
We now think that physical activity has a vital role in lowering cancer risk. It can directly reduce insulin resistance, inflammation, and the levels of reproductive hormones. Indirectly, it can help achieve and maintain weight loss as well as prevent the weight gain that many adults experience as they get older.
The current recommendations from the American Institute for Cancer Research are at least 30 minutes a day of moderate physical activity. And if you can, you should aim for 60 minutes a day or 30 minutes or more vigorous activity. You'll achieve even better cancer protection and weight control. Does meat or any other type of food contribute to the risk of cancer?
There's a pretty convincing link between red meats and colon cancer, and possibly other cancers as well. It's not just the fat. Although choosing meat is good for nutrition, it's not enough to reduce the cancer risk. However, you don't have to give it up completely. Eating up to 18 ounces of red meat a week seems to be safe. You just want to make meat an occasional food instead of one that you eat daily.
Okay. Eating processed meat, which is salted, cured, smoked, or treated with preservatives, seems to have an even greater risk of colon cancer. So you should try to limit that as much as you can.
You should also be careful of how much sodium you get. More than 2,400 milligrams a day seems to increase the risk of stomach cancer. Eating fewer processed food can help with that. Alcohol also increases the risk of several cancers, so from a cancer perspective, the less you drink, the better. Women should have no more than 1 drink a day, and men no more than 2.
Should cancer survivors follow any specific diet? Are there any foods, nutrients, or supplements that they should avoid?
In general, cancer survivors don't seem to be any different from anyone else in terms of what they should eat. One exception would be those taking anti-estrogen medications like tamoxifen or aromatase inhibitors who may need to avoid soy foods. Soy contains a plant form of estrogen, so it could work against these medications.
If you're a cancer survivor and the effects of your cancer or its treatment are making it hard to eat well, see a registered dietitian. Together you can figure out ways to get the nutrients you need. Could you describe the ideal diet for cancer prevention?
There is one specific ideal diet that is perfect for all of us, so we can each come up with a diet that's protective and still works with our lifestyle and food preferences. But here's an easy way to picture a healthy, protective diet. Every time you eat, aim to have 2/3 of your plate made up of healthy plants food like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and beans. Then have the remaining 1/3 or less made up of animal foods, preferably lean poultry, seafood, and very limited amounts of red meat. To add flavor, use moderate amounts of healthy oils, herbs, spices, citrus, and vinegars.
A protective diet can still fit in occasional treats, but you get most of your sweets from fruits instead of candy and cookies. For drinks, you want to emphasize water, some tea and coffee, and maybe modest amounts of fruit juice. You'd want to stay away from sugary drinks because their high calorie content makes it hard to control weight.
Adopting this approach to diet will have big benefits. A 2007 expert report from the American Institute for Cancer Research found that eating like this, combined with physical activity and weight control, could prevent 1/3 of all cancers.
Some people could find that diet hard to follow. What would you say to them?
Even if that ideal diet doesn't seem possible to you, don't be discouraged from taking small steps. It's not all or nothing. Working any of the recommendations into your lifestyle can help. For instance, if you could just cut out 200 calories a day, and calories you eat out of habit, not hunger, you will lose weight, and that will lower your risk. If the ideal of working out 30 to 60 minutes a day seems ridiculous, just try to add a 10-minute walk twice a day.
Now you won't get as much cancer protection benefit by making small steps as you would if you followed the full recommendations, but you can still make a difference. You're much better off doing something to lower your risk of cancer than doing nothing. We're going to take a break right here, and when we return, we will be sharing with our viewers 7 nutrients your diet may be missing. We would really like to hear from you. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, please email us at healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. That's healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. Or call us toll free at 1-866-395-6873. That's 1-866-395-6873. Please let us hear from you. We will be back after these messages. Welcome back to Let's Talk About Health. I'm your host, Latasha Franklin, and our guest today is Lee Kennedy. Let's get right to our next topic, which is 7 nutrients your diet may be missing. Do you think your diet is healthy? Guess again. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans says many adults lack 7 essential nutrients from calcium to fiber, and certain groups of people are missing even more. Filling in so many nutrient gaps seems insurmountable without supplements. But more often than not, food can solve the shortfalls.
That's right, Latasha. Let's look first at calcium. It's an essential nutrient for muscles, bones, and more. You don't outgrow your need for calcium just because you're all grown up. While calcium is necessary to bolster developing bones, it also needs to keep your skeleton strong throughout life, and that's not all. Besides participating in maintaining a normal heart rhythm, calcium plays a role in blood clotting and muscle function. Studies have shown a link between adequate calcium intake and lower blood pressure, as well as weight control.
The Institute of Medicine, the IOM, the group of experts that sets nutrient quotas, has determined that calcium needs increase with age. Here's what you need every day. 19 to 50-year-olds, 1,000 milligrams. 51 years and up, 1,200 milligrams. 3 servings of dairy foods each day as part of a balanced diet provides most people with the calcium they need. Try to get calcium from foods, preferably dairy. Calcium is best absorbed in the presence of lactose, natural milk sugar.
Some examples of foods that provide around 300 milligrams of calcium per serving: 8 ounces of milk or yogurt, 8 ounces calcium added orange juice, 1.5 ounces hard cheese, 8 ounces fortified soy beverage. Bonus nutrients: dairy foods and source supply magnesium. Orange juice packs potassium.
Fiber is another essential nutrient for overall health. Fiber is best known for keeping bowel movements regular and preventing other intestinal woes, including diverticular disease and intestinal inflammation. Years of research on fiber underscores its importance in overall health too. Fiber-rich foods lower the risk of developing chronic conditions, including heart disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Fiber is also filling and is found in foods that are relatively low in calories, so it's central to weight control.
Fiber needs are based on calorie requirements. That's why men and women generally differ in their daily fiber needs and why quotas decline with age. Men's 19 to 50 years, 38 grams, 51 and older, 30 grams. Women 19 through 50 years, 25 grams, 51 and older, 21 grams. It's beneficial, so why don't many people get enough fiber? Experts blame a lack of plant foods, including whole grains.
Here are some easy ways to boost fiber intake. Snack on whole grain crackers, fruit or vegetables or popcorn, a whole grain instead of cookies, candy, and chips. Choose whole grain breads and cereals, whole wheat pasta, and other whole grains such as quinoa, millet, barley, cracked wheat, and wild rice. Look for breads with more than 3 grams fiber per slice. Go for cereals with 5 or more grams of dietary fiber per serving. Start a meal with bean-based soups such as lentil or black bean. Add canned, rinsed chickpeas to salads, soups, eggs, and pasta dishes. Include fruits, vegetables, and whole grains at every meal. Bonus nutrients. Fresh and lightly processed fruits and vegetables and beans are rich in potassium. Beans also supply magnesium, which is our next essential nutrient we want to talk about.
Magnesium is an essential nutrient for bones, immunity, and more. Magnesium is an unsung hero of sorts. This mighty mineral participates in hundreds of bodily functions that foster good health. Yet few people know that magnesium contributes to bone strength, promotes peak immunity, and normalizes muscle, nerve, and heart function. You need this much magnesium every day. Men 19 to 30, 400 milligrams, 31 and older, 420 milligrams. Women 19 to 30, 310 milligrams, 31 and older, 320 milligrams. Here's how to satisfy magnesium needs. Opt for whole grains. Quinoa and cracked wheat or bulgur are particularly magnesium rich. Snack on pumpkin seeds. Sprinkle an ounce of slivered almonds on top of cereal or low-fat frozen yogurt. Choose legumes such as black beans, white beans, and soy as a protein source a few times a week instead of meat. Consume 3 servings of low-fat dairy foods such as each day. Bonus nutrients. Quinoa and cracked wheat are filled with fiber. Almonds are bursting with vitamin E and contain calcium, and milk is an excellent calcium source.
Vitamin E is an essential nutrient to combat free radicals. A misplaced fear of fat may harm health by preventing you from getting the vitamin E you need. Vitamin E, found primarily in fatty foods such as nuts, seeds, and oils, is a potent antioxidant. It combats free radicals, the unstable oxygen molecules that result from normal metabolism, as well as from exposure to air pollution, cigarette smoke, and strong ultraviolet rays. Vitamin E is a complex nutrient. Food supplies 8 different types of vitamin E. Experts have determined that alpha-tocopherol vitamin E, AT, is the most useful of the vitamin E forms. Men and women over age 19 need 15 milligrams of AT every day. Here's how to get more vitamin E from healthy fats. Snack on sunflower seeds or almonds and add them to salads, steamed vegetables, and cooked whole grains. Enjoy a nut butter sandwich on whole grain bread. Use sunflower and safflower oil instead of corn or vegetable oils. Combine low-fat milk, honey, and 1 ounce toasted slivered almonds in a blender for a delicious and nutritious smoothie. Include vitamin E fortified ready-to-eat whole grain cereals. Bonus nutrients: whole grains supply fiber. Sunflower seeds offer magnesium and fiber, and milk contains calcium.
Vitamin C is an essential nutrient for a healthy immune system. It's touted for helping the body repel germs and cancer, but it's not solely responsible for a healthy immune system. Most research on diet and cancer prevention focuses on the benefits of consuming a diet high in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, not single nutrient supplements like vitamin C. Vitamin C also vital for the production of collagen, the connective tissue that keeps muscle, skin, and other tissues, including bone, healthy. And like vitamin E, vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that helps ward off cellular damage. You need this much vitamin C daily. Men 19 and older, 90 milligrams. Women 19 and older, 75 milligrams. Your body can't store vitamin C or make it, so you need some every day. Include some of these vitamin C rich food in your choice of fruits and vegetables. Raw sweet red peppers, 1/2 cup, 142 milligrams. Medium kiwi, 70 milligrams. Orange juice, 6 ounces, 61 to 93 milligrams. Strawberries, a 1/2 cup raw, 49 milligrams. Cantaloupe, 1/4 medium, 47 milligrams. Broccoli cooked, a 1/2 cup, 51 milligrams. Bonus nutrients. Vitamin C rich foods also provide potassium and fiber. Sweet red pepper and cantaloupe are rich in carotenoids. Consuming vitamin C at meals or snacks improves the absorption of iron from the plant foods and iron fortified grains.
Let's take a look now at vitamin A and carotenoids, which are essential nutrients for eyes and an important player in good health. Vitamin A comes in two forms, as retinol, preformed and ready for the body to use, and carotenoids, the raw materials the body converts to vitamin A. Americans have no trouble consuming adequate retinol, but they don't get nearly enough carotenoids. While there is no daily requirement for carotenoids, foods rich in carotenoids are rich in healthy nutrients. Concentrating on including colorful produce will likely get you more carotenoids than you're eating now. Top picks include carrot, sweet potato, pumpkin, spinach, cantaloupe, sweet red pepper, broccoli. Bonus nutrients. Foods that contain carotenoids are rich in potassium and supply fiber. There's vitamin E and magnesium in spinach and vitamin C in broccoli.
Potassium is another essential nutrient for nerves and muscles. Potassium is present in every cell of your body. It plays a central role in normal muscle contraction, transmission of nerve impulses, and fluid balance. Potassium even serves to promote strong bones and is necessary for energy production. Adequate potassium intake hedges against high blood pressure, which creeps up with age. Men and women over age 19 need 4,700 milligrams of potassium every day. If you already have high blood pressure, check with your doctor or pharmacist about the medications you take to control it. Some drugs, including certain diuretics, cause the body to lose potassium, which increases your potassium needs. These potassium-packed foods will help you meet your daily quota. 1 cup canned white beans, 1,189 milligrams. 1 cup cooked spinach, 839 milligrams. A medium sweet potato cooked, 694 milligrams. 1 cup fat-free yogurt, 579 milligrams. 1 cup of orange juice, 496 milligrams. And 1 cup cooked broccoli, 457 milligrams. 1 cup cantaloupe, 431 milligrams. Bonus nutrients. Beans supply magnesium and fiber. Sweet potato, broccoli, and cantaloupe can boost fiber and carotenoids. Yogurt contains calcium.
We're going to take a break right here, and when we return, we will continue our discussion. We would really like to hear from you. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, please email us at healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. That's healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. Or call us toll-free at 1-866-395-6873. That's 1-866-395-6873. Please let us hear from you. We will be back after these messages. Welcome back to Let's Talk About Health. I'm your host, Latasha Franklin, and our guest today is Lee Kennedy. Let's get right to our next topic, which is 7 nutrients your diet may be missing. Lee, what about women of childbearing age?
Well, Latasha, if there's a chance you'll become pregnant, 2 nutrients are particularly important. Folic acid. Folic acid is the synthetic form of B vitamin folate. Once you conceive, folic acid and folate, the natural form, help protect your baby against neural tube defects and possibly cleft lip and or palate during the first 30 days. Getting the recommended 400 micrograms of folic acid every day from supplements or food, along with a diet rich in folate-filled foods, is critical for women who may become pregnant. Folate is important throughout the remainder of pregnancy, too. It's involved in cell production and guards against a certain type of anemia. The body absorbs folic acid with twice the efficiency of food folate, which explains the recommendation for the man-made variety. Even so, folate-rich foods are important, too. Fortified foods include 1 ounce ready-to-eat breakfast cereals, 100 to 400 micrograms folic acid, 1 cup cooked enriched spaghetti, 80 micrograms folic acid, 2 slices enriched bread, 34 micrograms folic acid. Folate-filled foods include 1 cup cooked lentils, 358 micrograms folate, 1 cup cooked spinach, 263 micrograms folate, 1 cup cooked broccoli, 168 micrograms folate, 1 cup orange juice, 110 micrograms folate. Iron. Iron is responsible for transporting oxygen to cells and tissues throughout the body. It's important for women to consume adequate iron before pregnancy as well as during. Pregnancy is a drag on iron stores and may cause iron deficiency, anemia in mom.
To avoid health problems, experts say women should include foods rich in hemi-iron, the highly absorbable form found in animal foods, and include iron-rich plant foods or iron-fortified foods along with vitamin C. Vitamin C enhances the absorption of non-hemi-iron. The ideal amount is about 18 milligrams of iron daily for women ages 19 to 50. Pregnant women should get 27 milligrams a day.
Hemi-iron sources include 3 ounces cooked beef, 3 milligrams, 3 ounces cooked turkey, 2 milligrams, 3 ounces cooked light meat chicken, 1 milligram. Non-hemi-iron sources, 3/4 cup whole grain total cereal, 22 milligrams, 1 cup fortified instant oatmeal, 10 milligrams, 1 cup cooked soybeans, 8 milligrams, and 1 cup boiled kidney beans, 5 milligrams.
What about older adults, people with dark skin, and those who avoid the sun? What do these groups have in common?
They may lack vitamin D. Vitamin D production is initiated in the skin in response to sunlight. People who avoid the sun may not make enough vitamin D. Ditto for people with darker complexions who have a higher level of melanin, a natural sunscreen. Age decreases the body's ability to make vitamin D, so older people may easily become deficient even when they get enough sun. To make matters worse, vitamin D needs double after age 51 to 400 international units IU a day, the equivalent of 4 glasses of milk, and increase to 600 IU daily after age 70. In addition, most foods are poor natural sources of vitamin D. That's why experts recommend consuming vitamin D from fortified foods, including milk and breakfast cereal, and from supplements. You may need a mixture of both to get the vitamin D your body requires.
Thanks, Lee, for being with us today on Let's Talk About Health. This has been very helpful information. Our time is now up, but before we go, we invite you to send us your comments, questions, or suggestions. Send them to healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. That's healthtalk@lighthousetp.org. Or call us toll free at 1-866-395-6873. That's 1-866-395-6873. In the meantime, let me encourage you to talk about your health and learn as much as you can about preserving these God-given temples. Until next time, I'm your host, Latasha Franklin, for Let's Talk About Health. God bless.